Day is just around the corner, and I'm going to make a heart-shaped box. I have a rough idea how I want it to go. When I'm done, I'll have a plan up on my website. It'll be a PDF that you guys can download. I'm going to start by taking some 3/4 inch thick pine and planing it down. Well, I've got that planed down pretty good. I want to make sure I have a nice flat surface for glue up, but it also got rid of all those marks that were in it from the store. So now it's just a little under 3/4 inch thick, and I'll be able to chop it down into blocks, and it'll kind of be like building a bandsaw box. Now I just clamp this stop to this side of my fence, and that'll help me cut this board into the strips that I need to glue together to make this box. And now I have all my strips laid out. Now I'm just going to be spreading glue all over all the pieces. I'll sandwich them all together, and then I'll clamp them up overnight. Well, I used a whole lot of glue, so I got a whole lot of squeeze out to clean up. So I'll let that sit overnight. I'll come back to it tomorrow, and then we'll start making our box. Alright, it's currently 25 degrees Fahrenheit where I'm at, and it's cold. I let this dry overnight, giving it about 12 hours, so I think that'll be plenty of time. Glue's nice and hard. Now I can go ahead, put my template on it, and I'll be able to cut it out. And I'm just going to use a glue stick to keep my pattern down. So now that I have the rough shape cut out from the bandsaw, I just need to clean it all up with some sanding. Alright, so I have a little bit of cleanup left right here, and my sander will not quite reach it. So, I'm just going to take a file, start cleaning it out. It's a little too wide, no matter how I try and stack it, to try and cut the top and bottom off on my bandsaw. So I'm going to go ahead and do it with my table saw. And even with my table saw, it's going to take a couple passes, maybe even a third pass, to fully separate it. Now I'm just going to mark out my center section to make the cut along the inside. And I could take my template and print out another one and glue it back on here. but I'm a little bit more comfortable like this. And I think you guys can see that showing up a bit. Now I'm just going to be drilling a few holes so I can put it in my scroll saw. I'm drilling more than one hole, that way I have an escape for a relief cut if I can't quite make the turn, because I'm going to be using a thick blade in my scroll saw. Now this blade I'm using is quite thick, more like a jigsaw blade. So I've drilled these much larger holes, and I've cut my box to just fit the throw of my jigsaw. Now if you don't have a jigsaw, you can go ahead and make this like a bandsaw box, and I would come in either here at the top or here at the bottom of the heart to try and hide it. So now that I have it nice and roughed out, I can go ahead and take it to my drum sander. Well, I have sanding drums for my drill press. If you have an oscillating spindle sander, that's definitely the way to go. Everything's sanded, fits nice and tight, and is ready to go. What I'm going to do now is just apply glue to the edge here where it's going to mate with the bottom. And I do have a little bit of a gap because I had to sand this out and I wasn't so careful about it. So I'm just going to take some sawdust and pack it into the glue joint around the outside. And because this is for my daughter, who's 4 years old, I'm going to go ahead and secure it with a couple brads because I know she's not going to be so gentle with it. Now that the glue's dry, I can go ahead and start sanding all this edge to make sure it matches up nice and even. Now I've made some marks along the side where I want that to line up so that I could have this hinge open, or swing open. Now, gone ahead and made my mark there. I've made my corresponding mark there. And here I'm just going to drill a shallow hole and I'll be gluing a dowel in place. On this side I'll be drilling most of the way through and it'll float in there. And that fits good. All I got to do is glue my dowel into here. So I decided to stain this and put a Thompson's water seal on it. I chose the Thompson's water seal because I like the more dull finish that it gave it and still protects it. I'll leave a link in the description for free plans to this on my website, which is just a PDF file of the two hearts. and I think my daughter will really enjoy this. She could put all her little costume jewelry in here and have fun. So, if you guys want to make something for Valentine's Day that's quick, easy, and nice, here's a good idea for you. If you enjoy my videos, please comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know how I'm doing. Thank you, and be safe.